Saturday, August 29th, which is tomorrow for you savvy viewers, witness the natural-born thriller, Ituma versus Hrgovic, the tagline, witness history. This fight is absolutely insane. I'm so hyped for it, and we got some stuff to talk about. They did their weigh-in today. This is my official prediction for the fight and the co-main event with Sam Noakes. We'll get to that, but first we need to talk about the weigh-ins of the fight. You've probably seen it's been floating its way through Twitter. It's been floating its way through the internet, but at the weigh-in this morning, tensions have boiled over. Thank you to the Ring Magazine for this post. Moses Ituma and Filip Hrgovic clash at the weigh-in ahead of their IBF heavyweight title fight tomorrow night on DAZN with the blushing emoji. I know that they were blushing, man. I know they were. Let's just get the quick little thing. Let's just show it right here for those of you who haven't seen it. They did their weigh-in. They had their face-off. They were talking to one another. Filip Hrgovic was telling Moses Ituma, Bro, man, I'm going to beat you, man. I'm going to fuck you up, man. I am the man. I am the man. You are not the man. I'm from Croatia. I am the man. You are a kid. I'm going to fuck you up. And Moses was hitting him with the, I'm going to fuck you up, mate. I'm going to fuck you up, mate. I'm going to fuck you up, bro. I don't give a shit. I'm going to fuck you up. You know, tensions boiled over is exactly what happened, and I'll just show right here what happened real quick. Let's just play it. Hrgovic goes for the double up, and then Ituma shoves him. Hrgovic falls off the stage, and Hrgovic comes up, and then there you see it there. Fucking slaps him, dude. I love that, dude. This is what this fight needed, man. Let's play it again. Boom! Beautiful slap by Filip Hrgovic. Beautiful. Let's play it one more time. Steps up. Boom! And Ituma was talking too, bro. Then he goes fucking crazy. He wanted to get to him. And look how calm Hrgovic is, dude. Hrgovic's been here, done that, dude. Look at that. Ituma said some shit. And dude, Hrgovic just little broed him so hard. He was like, man, shut the fuck up, bro. He hit him with, no. Shut the fuck up, man. Shut the fuck up. You are McDonald's worker. If you came from Croatia, you would be McDonald's worker. No one would give a fuck who you were. You know? And I'm telling you, this fight needed this. This right here, they needed this. Because this is making the rounds through Twitter. Some of the posts about it have like 200,000 views. I think I saw one had like 116,000. People are going crazy about it. I mean, let's read some of the comments here. What's with that guy ass old head touching Moses ass though? He should have been knocked the fuck out right there, bruh. 2 times. Yeah. Keep it real. Keep it for real 44. Yeah, thank you, verified, bruh. For verified 2 times. Reaction time was slow. Hrgovic, he didn't spell Hrgovic right. Clipping him for sure. Crazy. Big occasion and extremely interesting to see how tomorrow unfolds. Glad Hrgovic didn't get hurt from the fall. That's something I want to talk about. Real quick, Moses Ituma, this was so fucking stupid for him to do. That was stupid. Because if you didn't know, and I got the actual weigh-in right here, they're on a platform. This is where the O2 Arena does their weigh-ins. I also have a different angle of the slap. We'll be able to pull it up here. I've got a different angle of it here. You can hear what they were saying. But they're on a platform here. So if I play this back, you can see, he falls over, right? And he had to jump down because he like tried to do that little like tippy toe thing, where you're like right on the edge of something, you stop, and then you realize, I'm just tipping over. So he just like hopped down. And this is really stupid of Moses Ituma to do. He just got fucking slapped again, dude. It's really stupid of him to do because, I mean, let's say he shoved him a little harder. Hrgovic really could have gone over, rolled his ankle. Hold up, I've got the video of it right here. They were talking, here. I'll play this right here. I think you might be able to hear what they were saying.
Fucking see that.
Oh wait, no, just go. Boom, yeah, see, and he completely falls off the stage. And Hrgovic looks at him and he's like, bro, what the fuck are we doing, bro? Like, come on, man, we are fighter. Okay, apparently it's not one fucker. Boom! Ituma went fucking crazy, dude. I don't know what he expected to happen. Like, It's just showing some immaturity on the part of Moses Ituma. Like, the fuck did you think he was gonna do? Just be like, oh, good push while my back was to you. Good push. It remind me of the punch, you know. Good push, Moses. Like, no, of course he's gonna fucking slap you, dude. Like, what are you thinking? But, yeah, dude, if Hrgovic had, like, rolled his ankle or something, you know, that could have been pretty bad for him. That could have been bad. The fight could have been called off if he got injured, but, you know. I want to play what they were saying because it's interesting, you know. Let's play it real quick.
I am the man.
I am the man. I am the man.
Fucking smash. We'll see. Don't mind see. We'll see.
And then they're done. Hrgovic throws him again, stepping in front of him to do the double. Oh, man. I love Hrgovic's demeanor in the entire build-up to this fight of just being like, I am the man, you know, I am the man, it is my time to be champion, you know, I have good chin, I am tested, I am a real world-ranked fighter. Moses, this kid, you know, good kid, smart kid, good head on his shoulders, but he's not ready. You know, Philip's had this very big bro energy about him in the whole build-up, and it's pissing Moses off, and it's getting very apparent that he really doesn't like the fact, because every fighter up to now has kind of given him his respect. Hrgovic hasn't done that, and it's kind of been getting under Moses' skin the entire time, you know. They did an original video where Hrgovic was like, you have already told us that you don't love boxing. You have fallen out of love. You had to relearn the love. You don't have that in you. You know, I have it. I love boxing. And Moses, you know, shut the fuck up, man. You don't know nothing about me. You don't know nothing about me, man. You know, because Ituma doesn't know how to speak English, apparently. He mumbles a lot. This is interesting, dude, because they did they asked him, I was going to say post-fight presser. This is not a post-fight presser. They did post-slap interview. Post-slap interview, and there's a lady, she asked Ituma, like, why did you do that? Like, why did you push him? And Ituma was like, I don't really know why I did that. You know, it was just heat of the moment. I just did it. You know, he's like, I'm just kind of, you know, it's high tensions. And I don't like that from Ituma. I really don't like that because, you know, this is just the weigh-in. If his adrenaline is becoming too much at the weigh-in with only like a couple hundred people there watching, how is it going to be when he's in the O2 Arena that's nearly sold out, I believe? I checked the ticket sales earlier. I think there's maybe like, I don't know, 100 tickets they haven't sold yet. It's close to a sellout. In the biggest fight of his career, man, how's he going to handle the pressure? But, you know, the other thing I wanted to talk about with this is how they're looking in terms of their shape, because this is a prediction video. I know I've been yapping about the slap because it is like the most interesting thing that's happened in the build-up, but I do want to talk about their shapes because a lot of people have been picking Ituma to win the fight because Ituma is a lot faster. Ituma, you know, is perceivably in a better shape than Filip Hrgovic. You know, Hrgovic is kind of known to gas out. He gassed out against Dubois. He gassed out against, what was it, Joe Joyce. He didn't really look that good against Joe Joyce. He's known for starting quickly and kind of petering out over time, but with the David Adelaide fight, he showed a much improved gas tank. I remember the big talking point after that fight was that Hrgovic's gas tank has improved. And I want to talk about the weights they came in at and what they look like. So Hrgovic was the first one to weigh in. And look at that. Look at his body. I don't know why this is like glitching so much. It should be playing. It's like being a fucking slideshow right now.
236.2 pounds.
236 for Filip Hrgovic. 236.2. And let's just take it back right here. I'm not trying to say that Filip Hrgovic is obviously the body beautiful, you know. He's not. But, like, look at that, dude. For a 236-pound man, you know, his chest has, like, solid definition. His shoulders, his biceps are popping. His abs are coming through really good for a 236-pound man. He's got the fuckboy V-taper thing going on here that, you know, guys like to send on Snapchat. You know, like, that's the Ryan Garcia V-taper right there with how he be posing for these ab pics he puts up on his Twitter. I I'm telling you, man, and like, I'm telling you, man, people forget, man. People forget what Filip Hrgovic weighed in his last couple fights. That's my MMA guru Joe Rogan impression. Hey, people forget, man. People forget John Jones invented a spinning back kick at 38. But Filip Hrgovic in his last couple fights has been in the 240, 250 range, and he dropped all the way down to 236.2. I'm telling you, man, Hrgovic is in shape. Hrgovic is in shape. That's 12-round distance shape right there. And, we're going to get here. Moses Itauma's in shape, too. I mean, his chest has more definition. Absolutely. His abs are a lot, better. His abs come through more. And he weighs 241.7, so they're only about, I say, 4 or 5 pounds off from one another. Ituma doesn't really have the love handles. That's something I wanted to point out. Filip Hrgovic usually has pretty defined love handles. He doesn't this time, dude. They both look in fantastic shape, which is great because that means the fight will be good. That's the big thing I've been worried about with Hrgovic. What shape is he going to come into the fight with? But it looks like he's in good shape, and that's exactly what I want, dude. I want this to be the hardest test of Moses' career because he's either going to sink or he's going to swim, and I'm not going to lie to you. I think he might sink, dude. I think he might sink. I won't lie to you, dude. I'm very nervous for Moses Ituma going into this fight. But briefly talking about the fight itself before I actually start discussing my prediction for the fight. Do I think... How do I feel about the fight? I was very positive about the fight when it was first made because... remember, the fight wasn't for the IBF Heavyweight Championship. It was only when Usyk vacated all of his belts because he didn't want to fight his mandatories because Usyk's a duck. Sorry. People aren't going to like that opinion, but it's the truth. He didn't want to fight Kabayel. He didn't want to fight these guys. He wants the Deontay Wilder fight. They're going to announce that, and that'll be Usyk's retirement. Usyk didn't want to keep defending the belts, and so he dropped him. And so they decided to make this fight for the IBF belt because they're both highly ranked in the IBF, which I don't remember which organization it is. It might be the IBF, but Moses Ituma is actually ranked higher than Filip Hrgovic in one of the sanctioning bodies, Accept All Cookies rankings. Man on the Bus, Moses Ituma is hopefully not the short bus. All rankings. Let's see here. Is it the IBF? Yeah, Moses Ituma is ranked 3rd and Filip Hrgovic is ranked 4th, which is insane. That's insane because, in all honesty, Moses Ituma does not deserve this fight. He doesn't deserve the fight for the IBF Heavyweight Championship of the World. This should be Frank Sanchez, who, if you remember, defeated Richard Torres Jr., who's just been fucking scrubbed from the rankings, apparently, on the undercard of Usyk Verhoeven, and it was an IBF title eliminator. I think the leading theory is that Frank Sanchez was paid step-aside money for... Oh, shit. Almost knocked my microphone over. Sorry. I think that Frank Sanchez got paid step-aside money for this fight to be made, for the IBF belt, because he should be the one fighting for it, which... It really sucks because I actually do like Frank Sanchez. I think he has a very fun style, 70% KO rate. He's a big, strong dude. I mean, just look at this picture of him. My God, look at Jesus Christ, that's a scary looking man. The Cuban Flash! The Cuban Flash! As that one dude, what's his name? Is it Thomas Tridum? Frank the Cuban Flash Sanchez, the way he does it. I don't know why I just did that, my bad. This guy, live worldwide on DAZN. We're here for 12 rounds of boxing in the heavyweight division. Filip Hrgovic. He talks like that, dude. But, yeah, so I honestly don't believe Ituma is deserving of this fight for the IBF belt. I would have liked it if they hadn't made it for the IBF belt. This should just be a fight. Frank Sanchez should have gotten either... They could have made Frank Sanchez versus, I don't even know who they could have made it for, but they could have just given him the belt, honestly. But I get why they did it. They already had the fight made. The belt was there. They're both highly ranked. Frank Sanchez just fought. They want to get the belts. They want to get the belts going because you don't just want to have belts sitting. They want to try and get them unified again because then we can have one champion and we can compete with Zuffa. That's going to be, potentially a problem. That's why all the promoters came under DAZN because we got to compete now. It's a competition. But, the fight's happening. It's for a belt. Whether Ituma deserves it or not, which he doesn't, isn't the question anymore. It's now how will Ituma do. And it's tricky, It's really tricky because the smart money is Ituma, right? He's the up-and-coming heavyweight. He's the big guy, right? He's fresh on the scene, Dude, I just remember Bill Haney, bro. Someone tell that musclehead, meathead, fresh on the scene, Barracuda! Look him, motherfucker. And the build-up to the Ryan Garcia fight with Devin Haney, Moses Ituma, he's the musclehead, meathead, fresh on the scene kid. Only 21 years old. If he wins this fight, he'll be the youngest, or the second youngest heavyweight champion outside Mike Tyson, man. Moses, you try getting that, but you're not getting it, He'll be the youngest Brit to ever win the title, which is actually a crazy achievement to have, honestly, when you look at all the UK guys that have had the belts, and Frank Bruno, Lennox Lewis. I think Bob Fitzsimmons was English, wasn't he? I don't know. Everyone who was white back in, the 1900s was British, essentially. It's so difficult because the thing is this, right? Moses Ituma himself said a two-round knockout in the press conference, he said, is what he's going for, which is not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. Filip Hrgovic has one of the most durable chins in boxing, and I just don't see Ituma knocking Hrgovic down, David Adelaide, who hits like a fucking monster, dude. I understand David Adelaide is a very, he's British level. He's not world level at all. He hit Hrgovic with this, massive left hook and then this massive, 20-punch combination, and it all hit on the chin, and Hrgovic just stood there and was like, let's go, bro. Come on, let's go. Let's go, Adelaide. Go. And Adelaide was like, fuck, dude. Because this is what I'm saying, though. I remember watching that shit, and I was going crazy. I was like, oh, my God, Adelaide's about to win, because I didn't think anyone could take that. Because even at heavyweight, even if you don't have the most power at heavyweight, it only takes one. This dude right here, Filip Hrgovic, took, 20 unanswered KO blows from David Adelaide. Point-blank range, and he just stood there and took it, dude. He's made it 12 rounds with Joe Joyce. He didn't get knocked down by Daniel Dubois. He got stopped on cuts. Oh, I meant 12 rounds with Joe Joyce. I meant, Zhilei Zhang, dude. My bad. Yeah, Zhilei Zhang, dude. I honestly think Zhilei Zhang might hit harder than Ituma. I think a lot of Ituma's, power comes from his speed, Speed kills. I think that a lot of it comes from his speed. And I'm not saying he's not powerful, obviously he is, but it's the same thing with, Mike Tyson, he's so fast that the shots hit you in a way you're not ready for. You can't fully prepare yourself for it because you can't see him coming, and that just, it hurts you. And, I think that's Moses' big strength. I just don't think that Ituma's going to knock Hrgovic down or knock him out. I could see him opening up the cuts, you can see right there, the scar tissue. It's so, easy to cut open. Hrgovic gets cut so much in these fights that I could really see Ituma, hitting him with one clean shot in the face, and then just Ituma, then his face bleeding, and then he gets stopped on cuts, which I really wouldn't. I don't want to see that happen. I want to see this go. I want to see someone get knocked out or go full 12. I don't want to see this shit get stopped on cuts. Hrgovic is training with Abel Sanchez now, so hopefully they, found a way to mitigate that. Maybe he's got a better cut man. He can stop the bleeding, but definitely expect to see Hrgovic start bleeding in this fight. Man, it's so tough. So tough to predict this. I do actually want to show the slap here. Because I'm not trying to hear. So here we go. Here's something I noticed with the slap, actually. I know I just got off the topic real quick, but I want to show you. God, bro, why is this fucking... My computer's been so weird. I think I have a... So Hrgovic comes up, right? And Ituma's looking right at him. And I want to break this down. Hrgovic comes up, And look how slowly this hand comes up, and Hrgovic and Ituma just doesn't even react to it, dude. And I'm not trying to be one of those guys that says, like, oh, dude, a slap means something, right? But just look at this. Like, I just pulled my head back after I saw the hand. I, like, pulled my head back. Like, it's not that hard, and he's right there in front of him, dude. And, like, people are like, oh, you know, how could you defend a slap? You know, he didn't expect it. There's something I remembered, you know. Let's just bring this up real quick.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen. Premier Boxing Champions presents Canelo.
They're talking to one another. Canelo pushes him. Caleb comes forward. Slap, and then Canelo weaves it and comes back with a slap of his own that I think actually cut Caleb.
Boxing Champions.
So I'm telling you, if Canelo can do it, you're telling me Ituma, who's in his, not in his prime, I was going to say his prime, no, he's super young, 21 years old, he couldn't see that coming, he couldn't react. I don't know, man, I'm just saying. But how do I actually see this fight going? I see the fight going one of two ways. Either Ituma gets a standing knockout in the first 6 rounds. I think that's what Ituma wants. He wants to blow him out of there in the first 6 rounds. Because like I said before, you know, he said ideally a second-round knockout would be ideal, which I don't think is going to happen. I don't think anyone thinks that's going to happen. I mean, if you think that's going to happen, I don't get it. But I think that Ituma's going to go out there and really try to put it on Hrgovic and end him in the first 6, and I don't think he's going to get it. Because people, you got to remember, he's only been he's been the 6-round distance twice. He had 2 unanimous decisions early in his career. I think they were his 3rd and 4th fight, if I'm remembering correctly. He went the full 6 rounds, probably just to get experience. Then he went back to knocking people out. He's probably just to see if he could do it. But in his last fight against Jermaine Franklin, after the first round, Hrgovic went back to his corner, Ben Davison, and was like, I'm tired, man. Like, the pace is too high. I need to slow the pace down. And I'm not trying to say anything about, that tells you something. But it's interesting that, like, after 1 round fighting Jermaine Franklin, like, you're telling me you're tired? Like, that's not a good sign. And Hrgovic in the last couple fights he's had, he's looked in better shape. He went 10 rounds with Adelaide, threw double the punches of Adelaide. And in this fight, this is the best shape we've seen Hrgovic in a very long time. Like, I understand, he kind of has a bit of a gut. He's 230 pounds. Like, let him have that. This is the lightest he's weighed in his last 5 fights. Again, like I said, 250, 240 range. He weighs 236. The shoulder definition, the bicep definition, all of it, dude. He looks in fantastic shape. And to me, that says I need to be faster because he's coming in a little bit lighter. I need to be a bit faster. I need to be able to deal with the speed of Ituma, and I need to be able to go the distance. Because Hrgovic, I'm not saying Hrgovic can't hit. He can definitely hit. He knocked down Adelaide. He was pinging right hands off of Dubois' face in the early part of their fight. Hrgovic can hit, but it's not like one hitter quitter. I mean, he also knocked out Dave Allen, but I don't know why the fuck they made that fight. Dave Allen didn't stand a chance in that fight. Dave Allen's built like a bowling ball, so, Filip Hrgovic, here's the thing. Like I said, Ituma, 6 rounds, he's going to try and get him out of there. I think that Ituma is going to get tired. Because 36 minutes is a very long time to box. It's a very long time. I've had 2 amateur fights, and I can tell you that, like, even if Ituma's training, right, doing 15 rounds in sparring, I've heard some people say he's doing 15 rounds in sparring. I've also heard some people say he's not sparring, and that Ben Davison is having him do, like, manifestation training, which I don't know how legitimate those claims are, but I mean, with Ben roll the dice Davison, I wouldn't be surprised, man. Ben let him die Davison, dude. I got opinions on Ben Davison, dude. But I just, like, it's different, If you told me to go into sparring and we were going to do 10 straight rounds, I could do that. You get in the ring and all the adrenaline and all this stuff, you gas out faster than you expected to. And that obviously comes with experience. It comes with learning. It comes with, it comes just with doing it. It comes with a job. As you do it, you get better and better. You pace yourself. And it's good that Ituma is able to tell, like, oh, the pace is too high. But in the first round against Jermaine Franklin, if you're saying it's too high, it's too early to be like, oh shit, the pace is a little too high. Like, you've only been doing this for 3 minutes, dude. You still have 33 more to go. And again, Filip Hrgovic isn't Jermaine Franklin. Jermaine Franklin is built like Josh Barnett in the UFC, dude. He's actually a fucking disgrace to combat sports athletes. And I don't like that. There was also a moment, and it took, there were a couple moments where Jermaine Franklin actually had success in the fight against Ituma, and it was very limited success. It was mostly just landing a jab. But he was able to land shots on Ituma while Ituma was loading up punches. There was that one moment in round 4, I believe it was, where Ituma comes in with a jab, and he throws this like wild swinging hook, and Jermaine Franklin jabbed him right in the middle of it, and Ituma like smiled and nodded at it. He acknowledged the shot. And I saw that. Like, I'm being serious. Like, I was watching that fight back, and I noticed that, and I was like, dude, you shouldn't be acknowledging that shot. Like, why? What are you doing, bro? That was a jab. And, typically, I'm not trying to say it hurt him. I'm not trying to say that it did anything to him. I'm just saying that in boxing, typically, or even combat sports in general, when you acknowledge that a shot landed, that typically means you didn't like that it landed. Muhammad Ali was great at this. Joe Frazier would fucking, big ass left hook on his face. Ali would stuff his head down, do the shit, But that shit hurts, dude. And I'm telling you, if Jermaine Franklin can land those jabs after only 4 rounds, he can get those shots off. I think Filip Hrgovic is gonna be able to do that, dude. He was an Olympian. People forget, man. Filip Hrgovic was an Olympian. He's been doing this longer. He's got a lot of rounds. He's a vet. He's only 33, I believe, so he's still close to his prime, especially for a heavyweight. I mean, he's not old. Hrgovic has a solid shot in this fight, man. He's durable. And that's what makes me nervous, is the durability of Hrgovic that's making me nervous. But I would say that what I think is going to happen, because I've kind of been dancing around it, what I think is going to happen is Ituma's going to come out. He's going to set a high pace, try to get him out of there quickly. He might hit him a couple times. He might even wobble him a couple times. He might get him on the ropes a couple times. I don't know. But I think Hrgovic is going to weather the storm, and by the end of round 6, if Ituma hasn't gotten him out of there, I think Ituma is going to be like, oh shit, he's still there, and I put everything in these 6 rounds. And then I think, because then, he's going to be gassed out against the 6'5", 236-pound Croatian Filip Hrgovic. And when you get gassed, your reflexes slow, You don't react as fast. Your punches lose some pop. They lose speed. And then Filip, coming in there with these big 1-2s, these hooks, maybe even some body shots, man. I could see, you don't want to be in that position, dude. You really don't. And then I think what's going to happen is he gets gassed, and then, Hrgovic starts going after him and maybe stops him on the feet. I think that's going to be my official prediction for the fight. I think Filip Hrgovic is going to stop Ituma on the feet, late rounds, maybe 10, maybe 11. I just don't think that Moses Ituma has the experience to be able to manage himself for a full 12-round fight. I don't think he understands what's in front of him. I don't think that he really gets what's going on. And the fact that he reacted so, again, like, we'll show it here. He got pissed off that Hrgovic was talking to him, and he shoves him, and then got slapped, And when they asked him afterward, like, oh, why'd you do that? He's like, the adrenaline got to me. I'm just, I'm angry. I want to get him. That makes me think he's going to come into this fight with this huge, I got to prove myself. That's kind of been his vibe this whole fight, He wants Hrgovic to give him his props. He wants Hrgovic to give him some credit, don't disrespect my opponents. I think Ituma's going to come into this fight being like, I got to prove something. I gotta knock this guy out flat. Nobody's done that. I'm gonna do that. And I think he's gonna gas himself out, dude. And my reason for saying this is not baseless. If you guys remember, it's probably like the most well-known story, one of the most well-known stories, Tommy Morrison versus Ray Mercer. Tommy Morrison was a very green heavyweight when he fought Ray Mercer for the WBO heavyweight championship, dude. He was like, I think he was like 22, 23 when he fought that fight. And he was knocking everyone out. People were calling him the next Mike Tyson. He was this big guy, you know, these big power. He had speed. He was knocking guys like Carl Williams around. He was knocking James Tillis around. He knocked, there was some other dude he knocked out. I can't remember. But he went into that fight with Ray Mercer, and he put everything he had in the first 4 rounds because he was pinging shots. He was these, you know, like body uppercuts, right hands, left hooks, all this stuff. Morrison went for it in the first 4 rounds against Ray Mercer. Ray Mercer, who was a durable fighter, he weathered the storm and then had one of the most brutal knockouts in boxing history against Tommy Morrison. And I'm telling you, I could really see something similar. Like, I don't think it'd be around 5, obviously. But I think that Hrgovic, I don't know, man. I could easily see Ituma just being tired and then getting a right hand pinged on his face and another one and a body shot. And Ituma's like, I don't know what to do here. I've never been in this position. Nobody's ever given me this much pushback. You know, what happens if Ituma gets cut? What happens if Ituma's nose breaks? What happens if Ituma's punches aren't landing like they do with the same effect? We don't know these things about Moses. You know, Hrgovic's come through these things. You know, he did against Joe Joyce. He did against Zhili Zhang. And he got knocked. He got stopped on the feet, or stopped by the doctor from Daniel Dubois, and Daniel started pinging right hands and beating him up. But Hrgovic was still in that fight, you know? Hrgovic was in that fight with Adelaide. He dropped him. I mean, I've seen people talking about, like, oh, Hrgovic doesn't have power. Hrgovic has power, dude. He's got power. You don't stop Adelaide. You don't stop Allen in 3 rounds if you don't have power. You don't knock Adelaide down if you don't have power. You know? I don't know. It's so rough. Because, like, I could easily see Ituma winning this fight, you know? I don't want people to hear this and think, oh, you know, he's just completely counting out Moses Ituma. I'm not, dude. I could easily see Ituma winning this fight. I'm just picking heads instead of tails. In all honesty, I'm picking heads instead of tails. It's 50-50. This is the most 50-50 fight a fight has been in a very long time. Shit, dude. I don't know, man. This is rough. But, yeah, that's my official prediction. I think Filip Hrgovic is going to stop Ituma on the feet late rounds. Shit, he could lose, though. Here's the thing, though. I want Filip to win because I like Filip Hrgovic. Also because he kind of needs to win. I don't know if he'll get another title shot if he loses. But, dude, like, if Ituma loses, man, like, it really doesn't do that much for him because he's 21. Like, if he loses, he has the built-in excuse of, well, you know, he's really young. He'll come back. It stops the hype. It absolutely stops the hype train of Moses Ituma. But, like, you know, he's got a built-in excuse. If Hrgovic loses, man, it's just going to be, you know, who's he going to... He becomes a gatekeeper, essentially. He's going to have to fight 3 more people to get a title shot. And with how the heavyweight landscape is looking, the champions are probably going to be Daniel Dubois and Moses Ituma here, which they could end up fighting for undisputed depending on how things shake up. I know Dubois and Wardley are going to have their rematch in December, which is... that we'll talk about that. I think that's insane that it's going to be so quick of a turnaround. But I don't know, man. This is kind of Hrgovic's shot to win a world title. This right here. And I think he understands that because he's coming in the best shape of his career. But yeah, you know, that's my official prediction for the fight. On the undercard, Sam Noakes is fighting Denis Berinchyk, I think is how you say his name. If you remember, Denis Berinchyk was a WBO lightweight champion. He outboxed Emmanuel Navarrete over 12 rounds to win the title and then got stopped by Keyshawn Davis in 4 rounds, I believe, to lose his title, I believe is what happened. Let me see what happened. Was it 4 rounds? Yeah, 4th round knockout. And, there's nothing wrong with losing to Keyshawn Davis, especially at this point when he was, taking things a little more seriously. I remember watching the fight and being very impressed with Keyshawn, but I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you, man. If you're losing to Keyshawn Davis in 4 rounds, I feel like Sam Noakes is going to run through him. And, that could be, they're different heights, different sizes. I just feel like Sam Noakes, he's a really strong counterpuncher. He's got bricks in his hands. And I feel like, let me put it to you like this. If I put Denys Berinchik in with Abdullah Mason, I would take Abdullah Mason. I feel like the shots Abdullah Mason landed on Sam Noakes, I don't think Denys would be able to take those. So, yeah, I'm going to say Sam Noakes I'm going to say like round 5th knockout. Maybe round 6. I'm going to say around that mid-range knockout. I don't think the fight goes past 6 rounds. But yeah, that's my prediction for the main fight between Moses Ituma and Filip Hrgovic and Sam Noakes and Denys Berinchik. The rest of the card is kind of nothing in my opinion, but, it's boxing. Very, very excited for this fight. I'm super glad this whole thing happened. It's what the fight needed. It needed this extra bit because, before that, it was like a good fight. Everyone's excited about it, but this is going to send it even higher. So I'm really excited for it, and I hope you guys watch it. And, once the fight happens, I'll make a video talking about it. I hope I'm not wrong. I hope Filip gets it done. But, I could easily see Ituma winning. We'll find out tomorrow live on DAZN, man. But, thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. Have a good one. And, yeah, that's pretty much it.